Welcome to Two Guys, Two Questions, a chaotic, unscripted podcast.
Yeah, surprise questions with no prep.
I'm Ryan Keaton, a real estate guy who's happiest with an ocean view.
And I'm Jared Greer, a retro toy fanatic / loather who may or may not have a Batman cape within arm's reach right now.
You definitely do.
You don't know that.
From alligators to vibrators, superheroes to existential crisis, we cover it all.
Plus, every month we'll bring in a mystery guest and try to keep things extra unpredictable.
So if you like spontaneous conversations, French bulldogs stealing the show, and two guys who think they're funnier than they probably are, then you're in the right place.
Yep. Well, enough of this. Let's do this. Two Guys, Two Questions starts now. For fuck's sake, here we are, Ryan. What's up?
Back at it, man.
Yeah.
So I want to jump right into it because I want the explanation.
Okay.
We started chatting a little bit about it before I came, but basically we were supposed to record yesterday.
No,
Day before
Friday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, supposed to record on Thursday. We've had a number of different things that have popped up. You were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
But you were, I sent you a message, said, hey, just friendly reminder, because I've seen how this is kind of a little trend. It's best to give you a little heads up during the day. And you were spending time setting up a fish tank.
Yeah.
So layman here thinks, I don't know, you put a fish tank, you fill it with water, you get the temperature regular. I know there's a little bit more to it, but in the grand scheme of things, you're just putting a glass box there and you're putting some water in it, and then you walk away. You know, when you put fish in, you maybe take the bag or whatever they're in and you kind of get them acclimated so the temperature is all consistent. But you're saying that you're basically a full, almost 24 hours of work time. Not like it's been 2 or 3 days of working on it, but actual time that you've spent has been that. Learn me.
Okay, so this all started, and man, I don't even know how this started. This started on Facebook Marketplace at fucking 2 a.m. the other night. I'm sitting in this very seat, probably in my underwear. A guy lists a reef tank for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and he wants $5,000 for it. And I'm looking at it, and I thought, there's $5,000 worth of coral in there. So I thought, if I could, not very many people buying $5,000 fish tanks off Facebook Marketplace. So I thought, well, I'll just offer the dude 3, and if nobody buys it, maybe he'll take my 3, and then I'll just take the coral to the pet store and sell it and put the tank in storage or flip the tank or do something,
Yep.
Whatever. It seemed like it made sense to me at the time. Anyway, so I offered him 3, and that didn't pan out. But the more I thought about it, I thought, I kind of really want that. So I sent him a message and said, I give 4 and come and get it this weekend. He said, well, I take 45. And I said, no. He said, okay, well, I'll take 2 for everything in it, and then I'll just sell the tank and get more money. And I said, oh, that's great. I love that. So I made that plan. I was going to do that. So I was just going to go get the shit, take it to the pet store, sell it. He messages me on my way, or trying to round up buckets and shit. He messaged me, says, listen, I don't want to break this up. I'll just take your $4,000. You can have it all. And I thought, shit, okay, I'd rather just have the shit, but here we are. So now I have to move. It's a 210-gallon aquarium with a bunch of tech and a bunch of shit. It takes 4 people to carry this some bit. So I rounded up 6 people. We drove the hour to Moorhead. Got there at 10 o'clock in the morning. This is Friday morning. Got there at 10 a.m. It took until 4 to get it broken down and get all the live shit in buckets, because this is a fully established reef tank. So we broke down take all the coral, you put it in 5-gallon buckets, all the rocks go in buckets, everything has to stay wet. Carry this, by the way, shout out to this dude for one, but this dude lives in a 14 by 70 trailer out in Bath County, and he has a truck that's worth more than the trailer, a Harley that's probably worth more than the trailer, and he had every bit of $20,000 invested in this damn fish tank, I bet. So I didn't understand the whole dynamics there, but this dude was living his best life out there, one way or another. Maybe that's the kicker. Maybe
Good on him.
he may have fuck it money or fuck you money and just
He wasn't house poor, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't spending his money on a house payment. He had all kinds of fucking fun toys. Anyway, we get the shit out of the house. We drive the hour back here. Get the tank unloaded and set up in my living room. And then it starts the process. And I think about the time you called about 6 o'clock or something, or about 5:30 or something, and said, "Hey, are we still good?" I said, "Oh, fuck no." Because I had maybe put 1 bucket of shit back in the tank at that point. And once you start that process, there's thousands of dollars worth of live shit there that needs to be underwater and with filtration moving and stuff. Yeah. So it's just getting it all stacked back, set back up, and water flowing in there. And then, of course, when you're putting it back together, the sumbitch is cloudy, so you can't see what you're doing. So you have to give it a minute to clear up so you can arrange the rock and shit. It was just a whole fucking fiasco. This is a horrible story, but it's just a whole fucking fiasco. Anyway, this guy also had all this fucking technology that automates the keeping of the tank, pH, temperature, all that bullshit, alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, all these things. Anyway, it automates all that shit. And he said, "I got to tell you, that stuff just works, but I don't understand it." And he told me, he said, "I'm a damn biologist, not a computer technician." Anyway, I had to figure all that shit out when I got back here, and it's all set up in my living room now. And I have a brand new a brand new to me, 210-gallon reef tank with all the coral you can shake a stick at. Because when I got there and saw it and it was pretty, the plan immediately changed to, I'm putting that in my fucking living room.
I own that now.
I own that now. That is mine. I'll take that. Yeah.
It's pretty impressive when you walk in. I will give you that.
Yeah, but it's... Anyway, this leads into my question, by the way. All right. This whole story. I've been thinking about this, and I hope I've never asked you this. I don't think I have, and there's a difficulty rating in this. You are not allowed to answer by saying vaping.
Okay.
Okay? That can't be your answer.
Okay.
What is the dumbest fucking thing that you do on the regular that you just fucking wish you could stop doing, or you just wish you didn't do? Because for me, it's 2 a.m. shopping on Facebook Marketplace in my underwear, buying fucking 210-gallon reef tanks.
Yeah.
Or things like that. I've been saying for months I wanted to get most of the animals out of my house because I'm a fucking animal hoarder. I see a fish tank and I go, "Oh, I need that. Where am I going to put that?" Let's have one in the office. Let's have one in the living room. There are 2 fish tanks in my living room now, one in this room. And I was just sitting here on the internet about to order an octopus. And I went, I don't have a tank for that, but I could set one up because that'd be fun. I mean, that'd be cool to have.
Yeah, I would have probably went for the octopus over the coral.
Yeah, but then I bitch about having it here. It's so fucking dumb, but I can't make myself stop. I see something and go, "Ooh, I need that."
Yeah.
And here we are, So what's the dumbest fucking thing that you do that you wish you could stop, but you just can't seem to figure out how to?
Oh, I would say one of the things that I do quite often is, and I never fall victim to it, but I do fall down the rabbit hole.
Oh, okay.
And that would be looking at either programs or AI or classes or
multi-level marketing.
It's essentially what it is, but it's masked around a product or something that I could learn a skill set. So what I will do is I will convince myself, "Ooh, that's worth the $50, $100, $30, whatever the hell it is. I'll learn this, and then I will also have this tool, so I will convince myself this is something worth looking at."
Yet you still haven't got your auctioneer's license.
I have no desire.
It cost you $100.
Yeah.
Open up a world of opportunities.
You know what you don't have?
Auctioneer's license. I know. I paid the $100 twice. Twice I paid the $100. But anyway, so you fall victim to...
It is mostly like...
self-help kind of shit?
It is like either like programs or stuff to make videos or some type of like something that is going to better myself,
Mhm.
something to where I feel like, ooh, I can use that in real estate. I could also use that over here, or I could do this and do that. So I go down these rabbit holes. Now,
Do you go to
I
seminars and
rarely, if
lectures and
ever,
shit?
no, I used to.
Yeah.
I did. I
Yeah.
did do some of that stuff.
Come listen to the guy with the fucking question marks all over his suit talk in Vegas.
Yeah. Now I haven't seen the dude, but like Tony Robbins, I've
Yeah.
done a couple different Tony Robbins events. Side note, Tony Robbins in or out?
I don't even know who the fuck Tony Robbins is.
Wow.
Who the fuck is Tony Robbins?
Wow, wow, wow. It's,
What's he do? Hold on, I'm Googling.
he is only like probably the most famous and yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
motivational
know this
speaker.
guy. I know this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming out.
Yeah.
Considering
Yeah.
you didn't
I like
know who
it.
he was.
I've never really sat and listened to him, I guess.
Yeah.
He's personal and business results coach. You know, the only one of those motherfuckers I listen to, and I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed to say it, is Gary V. You know Gary V?
Yeah.
And Gary Vaynerchuk? I catch myself in TikTok rabbit holes with him a lot.
That is interesting because he is very much, in my opinion, an acquired taste.
Oh, yeah, for
It
sure.
is-
All the people around me
I
hate
mean, he's incredibly popular. He's
Yep.
building a very good platform, very, very informative, but his delivery
it.
style
Oh, yeah.
is not for everyone.
Unapologetic.
Yeah.
What about Cardone?
Grant Cardone's
Grant
another one of
Cardone.
those that's an acquired taste that,
yeah.
that
I see him every now and then.
yeah.
Um,
another guy that is incredibly successful. It is, I got really nothing negative to say about him, but his personality
Yeah.
turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And he don't care. Fine. That's not his, you're not my
Yeah.
bag then.
Yeah, yeah,
that's,
yeah.
that's cool to be at that position.
Yeah,
So,
it's like Dave Ramsey's kind of that way.
so I think all of those are, but I mean, they're obviously having some success and they're good salespeople because they get that traction, but
Yeah. Have you ever you did say, well, you said you've been to Tony Robbins seminars, so you've paid to go listen to him. Did you get anything out of it?
So I had an opportunity, I guess it's been almost 2 years ago at this point. Tony Robbins was doing a virtual event that was live. So it was a live virtual event. You had to log in at a certain time, and it was a 3-day event, and it was essentially the same as though you were there. And if you've ever done any of these, this is those things that start at like 8 or 9 in the morning. You have a little lunch break and you have this, and it goes till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night as well.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm out on that.
So we did that as like my team. I paid for it, had them at the house, fed them. We basically did a full on conference, top to bottom at the house, and it was really good. I mean, I got a lot out of it. It was a lot of rah stuff and a lot of like in your face of like making you kind of face things that are holding you back from doing stuff. So I'm very positive on it, but I think it's definitely one of those things that if you get away from it, in other words, if you're not like kind of integrating yourself daily or weekly or whatever, then you can
Yeah.
kind of get out of that cycle of what that rah is. And then you kind of dip into people that maybe don't like him as much or don't live that way. And you're kind of like,
So you want to stop. I don't know if I understand this really. You want to stop paying money to people
well, no,
who are trying to to try to better yourself. Like
no.
maybe
So, yeah.
I don't know. I sort of get what you're saying.
I want to stop going down the rabbit holes because I don't buy 98%, 99% of what they are,
Yeah.
but I will spend 5 hours researching the shit out
okay,
of it
Got it.
to make a decision that I'm not going to buy it. And then a lot of times these things will be kind of little cool things, but they're $50-$100.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking there going, dude, you just fucking, because I know what my worth is. I know
Yeah.
what my time is worth. And I'm very much of the opinion of, if you spend your time on something, you're taking away financially from something you could be doing. And
How much do you spend on subscriptions that you forget to cancel? Do you ever sit and look at that?
yeah, I look at it. I don't
Yeah,
have any. I don't have any subscriptions that. I don't have any. To my knowledge, I don't have any subscriptions that I don't use.
Oh, fuck, I know.
The
Man.
side note, just because it's not necessarily a subscription, but I know it's your love. and it's the old DoorDash.
Oh
So
my God, I just got it. I just got Burger King.
Dixie was
Shout out to Burger King.
Dixie
from
was
DoorDash.
gone for a week,
Okay.
and so I'm at home playing Bachelor.
Yep.
Kids all gone. I got nothing. Number one, it's kind of silly how much I got accomplished. So my storage building was disgusting, and this is like a big 14 by 14 storage building. She's sweet now.
So,
Got her cleaned
completely
up.
fucking organized. He's got labels on everything.
Oh yeah, everything's hanging from a hook and that kind of stuff. Got the garage cleaned. Now I'm parking in my garage again, which is kind of cool. I haven't done that in months or maybe a year. Taking on my grandmother's house, and I'm going to be fixing it up. So I was over doing crap with it.
You gonna flip it, or are you gonna?
Tristan's going to be there.
Oh,
yep. So yeah, that would be. But yeah, it's funny how much I got accomplished. But no, where I was going with that was.
How many times did you DoorDash?
3 times for me, and I had never DoorDashed. I probably only had one other time I'd actually truly DoorDashed before this week. But man, I had some. I had a couple different smoothies and got some flatbreads and different things. So, but I did chuckle as I'm ordering.
And do you love how fucking convenient it is? I mean, evidently, because you did it 3 times.
I did it 3 times. Yes, I loved how convenient it was, but
Did you buy the Dash Pass?
No.
Okay.
Intentionally, because I did not like the price. I didn't like once you had a delivery fee, and then you had to, then of course you got to do some version of a tip as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, by the fact of paying essentially about another $5 or $6 extra for whatever you spent, I struggled with like, is this enough convenience for me?
So here's the thing. This is funny, and I don't even know how I got this way, because, I guess in some things I consider myself pretty frugal. Like if let's say I go to a reptile show tomorrow, I want to buy a snake. If I think it's a $30 snake, I'm gonna and they got 40 on it, I'm gonna beat them down to 30, or I ain't buying the damn thing.
Yeah.
But on DoorDash, I make my order, don't even look at how much it is. Fucking, I hit the express option, which is like $3 extra.
To get it 5 or 10 minutes.
To get it 5 or 10 minutes faster, because the thing that pisses me off more than anything in the world is if they go pick my order up and then they go deliver somebody else's shit before they bring mine, because then it's cold. And if you do express, you're the only order on the route.
Yeah.
They bring it directly to you. I tip the max, and I don't even fucking look at the fees. It's just done. And I do that all the time. And then the other night we got Applebee's, and it was me and Kat. We got Applebee's, and I happened to look at my credit card statement for some reason, and it was like DoorDash, like fucking $120 some for 2 of us to eat at Applebee's, because I did all the stupid,
Yep.
I did all the stupid shit. And it gets crazy. But also, I do the same thing like with Uber. Do you use Uber or Lyft?
Use Uber and Lyft a lot.
Do you get the economy cars or the blacks?
I always wait longer. So it's like, if you can wait longer, you can save $5, $4. And I always just typically get whatever car's available.
Nope. Fuck that. I want, usually I will go to the black or the black XLs, and I will pay for expedience. I want a car right now. I don't want to stand here. And I don't even look at that shit. But like I said, other things I will negotiate to the point of no return.
Which is funny, because
it's like, it's not real money on my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
do you want a shitty?
Yeah. Do you want a shitty car or a good car? Oh, I want a good car.
Yeah. 90 times, I would say probably 90 to 90. And we use Lyft, and just because of traveling, where we're gone so much, and the trips for real estate, we're using it all the time. I don't know. I'd say probably 90% of the time we're doing the cheapest. We're waiting an extra 5 or 10 minutes, and they're pulling up in a freaking sweet ass Tesla.
Now that does happen a lot.
They pull up in a Tesla, and I'm like, okay.
Especially in Mexico. When I was in Mexico, there wasn't Lyft, but it was all Uber, and you could, no matter what you got the same 25 fucking drivers floating around, mostly in black SUVs. And I think I might have told you this. We had a driver in Mexico take us out to the pyramids, and he said, "There's no signal out here, so I'll just wait on you." So, because he knew we couldn't request another car, which I thought was neat. Anyway, so you are going to stop paying for or stop wasting your time researching stupid shit, stupid programs and shit, and I'm going to swear off 2 a.m. Facebook Marketplace shopping for fish tanks and other stupid shit I don't need.
I feel like Facebook is a good thing to just be off a period after a certain, like, it's almost like, whenever you say nothing good happens after midnight, if you go out, that's the best opportunity to get in trouble is if you're out after midnight. Same way with Facebook.
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do if you can't sleep? I mean, TikTok or Facebook. Or clean the house. I do that sometimes at 2 a.m. Man, one other thing I wanted to tell you, I did resist the urge to buy stupid shit this weekend because I went to Pittsburgh earlier in the week. Something I want, and I posted a copy of it on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. There's a Stephen King book that came out in the Bachman books. The book is called Rage. I want a copy of it really badly, but it's taken out of print for various reasons. And I was at a pulp show in Pittsburgh this weekend, or actually Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I was in Pittsburgh. Yep. And they had a fucking copy of it up there. And I thought, oh, good, I can get a copy of Rage. $3,500 fucking dollars for a paperback fucking book. Because it's an out of print Stephen King, I guess. And I mean, fuck it, find another one.
Yeah.
But
you didn't buy it?
Nope. Couldn't make myself do that one. I bought a fish tank instead.
I was going to say, it's one of two things was going to happen. If you'd have bought the book, you probably aren't dipping the toe in the old. So are you happy that you have the new fish tank?
I really like it. I think I'll like it much more once it heals from the move, so to speak, I guess, and everything comes back out. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I've been in the pet business since I was 17 years old, and I'm learning shit with this aquarium that already, like I said, the technology aspect of it, this guy'd spent thousands of dollars on automation equipment for it, and I've never really used any of that shit. No. So I've got apps on my phone that are controlling most of that fish tank, and that's pretty neat, really.
But I mean, you think about it. I mean, you do own a pet store, so I mean, learning all that stuff.
Yeah, but
ain't a detriment. I mean,
I don't go there though.
You don't go there.
Count. I texted the guy that owns the pet store here in Ashland, Jim. Shout out to Jim at Burt's Pet Center. My store is in Huntington, West Virginia. Jim's here in Ashland. I think he considers this competition, but I don't consider this competition at all.
Yeah.
I do what I do pretty well. I'm a reptile guy. I'm a snake guy. He's a saltwater fish guy.
Yep.
I love saltwater fish. I've had them my whole life, and we have a small section of saltwater in our pet store, but we're never going to compete with him on any real level.
Yep.
So anyway, I fucking texted him and said, hey, you ever deal with these automation controllers, these Neptune controllers? He's like, yeah, it's pretty easy. So anyway, he was talking me through on the phone, setting all that up. And I get a real kick out of that because so many people do think it's weird that I call technically my competitor and say, hey, come help me.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe, number one, he calls me if he has snake problems. And I still believe that you do what you do and you pay other people to do what they do.
Yeah.
So
definitely on that.
He and I are the same age and good friends, and we both kind of came up through the pet industry, and we've both seen a lot of shit and developed our own things. But anyway, if you're ever in Ashland, hit up Burt's Pet Center. If you're ever in Huntington, go to my fucking store and spend some money. Pullman Pets, 30 Pullman Square, Huntington, West Virginia. I tell you the phone number, but I don't believe in phones in businesses.
You don't believe in phones in businesses?
No. Okay. Pet store doesn't have a phone. I had a sports card store with no phone. We have a phone in the bookstore and in the comic shop. I want to turn them off so bad because I don't believe a phone makes you a single extra nickel in a retail store. And it costs you so much money to answer the fucking phone and answer dumb questions all day that if people would just come to the store, they would see. Because usually it's like they'll call and say, how much is that LaBoo-Boo? And you say, well, that LaBoo-Boo is $40 or whatever. And they'll say, that's too much. Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, here's the thing, though. I'm the guy that if I'm going to go visit a pet store, typically you're looking it up online, what's their hours. you don't have a phone number.
Yep.
I'm probably feeling like you're not legit, and I'm bouncing and going somewhere else.
It's even worse in a pet store because 90% of the questions in the pet store is, hey, my dog's asshole is a little red and inflamed. What can I do to solve that problem?
Call a vet.
Yeah. Quit fucking it. Whatever. But, I mean, and I hate to say it, but 90% of them are never going to come in and spend a nickel. They're calling you at the pet store because they're too cheap to take their animal to the vet.
Yeah.
And they want free vet advice, which is usually coming from a 16-year-old kid working at a pet store that doesn't know shit about shit.
Yeah. Shouldn't be giving advice anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't give medical advice for animals over the phone. There's just too much at stake.
Yeah.
And too many variables that I don't, even me, if you call me on the phone, I'm probably not going to give you medical advice for your snake because there's just too many variables you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, did they give you the whole story?
Yeah, you don't know the
this?
whole story. You don't see the animal in front of you. You're not. It's the same reason when you call your doctor's office, they won't say, "Well, sounds like you got the flu. Let me just call you in some fucking pills," or whatever. They say, "Come and see us."
Yeah.
So you feel like if there's no phone number listed, it's not legit.
100%.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Yep.
I
feel like that.
Yeah, it's because you're old, right?
Maybe.
Would you call them?
Probably not. No, I'm not going to call them unless there's like a specific, like, let's say I want a gecko. I may call and go, hey, do you all have geckos? Yeah. How much? Cool.
Yeah.
Close and boom. That's it. If I had a fish tank and it was doing something, I may call, or probably not going to call. Or I may call and just say, hey, this is what I got going on. And do you all have the stuff to fix it? Yep. Cool. I'll be there in a couple hours. It's that kind of thing. But to me, if you don't have your hours posted, you don't have.
Well, I mean, we have hours posted.
Yeah.
I think. I hope. Hold on. Let's look. And I don't even know what it says for phone number, really.
But you do this every day. So if I would assume you probably tested for and against, before you didn't have a phone.
Gut instinct. I don't want a phone. I don't want to answer it. The bookstore, the only reason I still have a phone
Well, the comical thing to me is that you don't answer the fucking phones anyway because you have people that are in the shop.
Right, but I have to pay them to answer the phone. And I don't know that okay, so you take a phone. Number one, the phone bill's, let's say $100 a month. I don't know what a fucking phone bill. Yeah. I don't have one. But anyway, phone bill's $100 a month. Then you got to pay somebody $15 an hour who basically just stands there and talks on the phone all damn day.
But don't you think that those people?
So you're talking about $700.
In all honesty, don't you realize that in a retail type of thing that if you had hidden cameras and you were watching your people, 75% of the time they're standing around doing jack shit. They're just there and they're a physical presence.
That's 100% true.
And so at least if the phone rings, at least you're getting something out of them besides them sitting there.
But let's just hypothetically say it's $150 a month.
Yeah.
Just for pure talking on the phone time. So $250 a month. I don't know that the phone calls make me $250 extra dollars a month.
Yeah.
And number one, I just hate it. It's just no good transaction starts with a phone call for me.
Yeah.
It's usually and it's usually, hey, there's this pissed off lady on the phone, or hey, there's whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I get phone calls, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Pullman Pets is 26 Pullman Square, Suite 209, Huntington, West Virginia. There is no fucking phone number listed because we don't have one, but there are hours listed here. Please add missing phone number. Google says it right
Yeah.
here. Spaz. Anyway. Oh shit, I got Google reviews.
Oh, did you just find a Google review? Doesn't have a phone. 1 out of 10.
No. Okay. Somebody's bitching about, we don't sell dogs. Somebody's bitching about the dogs in the store. We don't sell dogs.
I wish there was a little bit better, and I'm not exactly sure how you would do it, but some way to gauge that. There was one time where I had a bad review from only one bad review that I got on Google that basically was commenting essentially on another business. It wasn't like not even the same industry. And then to get that kind of shit removed is pretty daggone difficult, even if you tag it as spam or something to that effect.
Yeah. And people, especially in pet store, people only leave the reviews.
Yeah.
How often do you go have a good interaction somewhere and think, you know what, I'm going to go give them a fucking attaboy on Google? Never.
I will now probably just from being in a service industry kind of thing. If I get good service, I will tend to try to go on and do that just because exactly what you said is true.
Yeah.
Most people are just like, well, that's what you're supposed to do is give me good service. You know,
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it when you get bad service.
Good service is the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do love people that just leave bullshit reviews.
Yeah.
Fuck those people. That's, customer's always right. There it is. I said it.
You said it.
I did. Anyway. All right. What's your question?
So my question is partly just because I want to see how creative you are.
Okay.
But if you were given an intellectual property rights for basically, I want to know if you had the opportunity to get intellectual rights for basically any old toy line, retro. Because think about Barbie, Transformers, look at it, just they're massive. What toy, what retro cartoon, what comic book that isn't currently like rolling that you would basically take and run with it?
Isn't currently rolling.
Yeah.
So we're in a,
because I feel like we're in a time where there's a lot of nostalgia. You know,
yeah.
You get the Barbie and that kind of stuff. So what would be your version of Barbie, I guess?
The problem is there are companies out there like crazy right now that are just gobbling all that shit up because everything old is new again. If you go to Walmart, they have every toy that was out there when we were kids is on the shelf again now. And it'd be hard to think about a toy line that hasn't been repopped already. I mean, they're just eating them alive. When you were starting down this road, like what intellectual property you want, of course, that's Star Wars. I mean, that is the one that makes you $1 billion.
Yeah. But you're trying to create the next Star Wars.
Yeah. Man, they've just been beat to death. They're all bought up. They're all used. Hell, there's a comic coming out right now. It's on issue 4, and now it's Biker Mice from Mars. Do you remember Biker Mice from Mars?
I remember.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you wouldn't think that would be something that would get gobbled up and repopped and reproduced, but here we are with Biker Mice from Mars.
But to me, Biker Mike from Mars, that would be something that you're like, ooh, that's something that could be a good version of what you would take. Not that that would be it.
Yeah.
But there aren't movies. There's not cartoons. It's not all over pop culture that Biker from Mars. It's not there. Yeah. Okay. Somebody bought it and they're going to redistribute a comic book, but it still needs. So,
man, I don't know. There's so many good properties from our childhood through about, let's say, the late 90s. There hasn't been much that's popped up new since then that at least comes to my mind real quick. But they've just, between Funko and Super 7, there's a couple other companies, they've just been relicensing everything out there and digging stuff up. I can't even think of anything that's not really been reused.
It's fine. It can be reused. I mean, like I said, I think you're trying to dig too much. It's like just because you've seen, them make a pop head bobblehead.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's turned into Barbie or Transformers or.
You're asking what didn't they get done with? Basically, what still has meat left on the bone?
I'm saying if you were handed and basically said, no, money's no object, we're just going to give you this franchise, this thing. Yeah. What are you going to choose to do? Or what are you going to choose for that to be? And then what would you do with it?
This is the least money-making idea ever. But it's an idea that I've seriously considered. This won't make any sense to anybody out there in podcast land, probably, because it's very local. Do you remember of course, Mr. Cartoon.
Oh yeah.
You remember Mr. Cartoon? It was on WSAZ Channel 3 out of Huntington.
I went to taping of Mr.
Yeah,
Cartoon.
in our lifetime, everybody our age from within 100 miles here, if you were a kid at one time, you were in the studio audience at Mr. Cartoon, probably with the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, or they always had Mrs. So-and-so's third grade class.
Was it Boinker?
Beeper.
Beeper.
Beeper. Yep. Okay, number one, I've reached out to the studio there at WSAZ multiple occasions trying to buy the Beeper costume. They don't use it anymore, except they might break it out for a special event every now and then, once every 2 or 3 years. I want that fucking costume so bad I can't stand it. But I want to make, actually it'd be a kind of a co-op thing. I want to buy the license for Mr. Cartoon and Beeper, and I want to then commission Funko to make a Funko Pop of Beeper and Mr. Cartoon that is an Inner Geek exclusive to sell in my store in Huntington and Ashland. Because Mr. Cartoon and Beeper are very nostalgic for 40-year-olds in this local area right now.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody outside the range of WSAZ's ever heard of it, but, WSAZ had a pretty good 100-mile radius or something from Huntington. And that's where my store is, so it should be ground zero for me having the ability to sell it. Now, the problem is Mr. Cartoon was a character that WSAZ created, but it was actually a gentleman. There were 2 different guys that played it. I don't know who the first guy was because he was older than me, but in my lifetime and in your lifetime, it was Jewel Huffman was Mr. Cartoon. He was also the weatherman on WSAZ, but he put on a costume and was Mr. Cartoon. So I don't know if I would also have to get a license from the Jewel Huffman estate to make a vinyl figure of him as Mr. Cartoon. But it's something I have considered, and if anybody ever listens to this and you're affiliated with WSAZ, get up with me. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
I've reached out to several people there, and dead end always at one place or another. But that's a real local, small end thing I'd love to do. That's the only thing I've actually ever considered jumping into. I see people all the time buy licensing rights to properties and go, fuck, I should have done that. Because you can get, with licensing, it's all about how narrow the scope is. If you want to buy a license to make anything Star Wars, and you go to Disney and say, hey, I'd like a generic license to use the Star Wars logo, they're going to say, fuck you. If you go to Disney and say, hey, I'd like to get a license to make a 2-inch tall PVC pencil eraser of R2-D2 only, can I buy that license? They'll say, sure, that'd be $721 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have to get very specific to license those things, but I think it's something I would love to get into, but I haven't forced myself to sit down and try to figure it out yet. There's a show in Vegas every year I think it's in Vegas, called the Licensing Expo, where all these companies just set up and sell their rights.
That's interesting.
I would love to go to that one. Also want to go. Have you ever been to an AVN show? Porn show? You know what I'm talking about? It's an adult industry. I want to go to that. Yeah. It's also in Vegas.
Side note.
Right
after we had the episode of the sex doll.
We did, didn't we?
Yes.
We talked about Robbie and the sex doll. Okay. Yeah.
I think that was either last week or the week before. Anyway, the funny thing. So
that took a turn. We went from Mr. Cartoon to the Adult Video Network.
You did
Awards.
it. You did it. But now that we're here, I got
ADD, man.
I got to pop off on this little story.
Let's hear it.
I had this news thing pop up on my feed, and it said local sheriffs, and I think this was in Missouri. Local sheriffs spent 3 hours searching for a body in a local small river or lake or whatever it was.
Somebody phoned it in.
And whenever they got there, and once they finally uncovered, so it's this big, huge manhunt. They're trying to find this, figure out what this body is. And it ended up being a sex doll.
Lifelike sex doll. Yeah. Well, now I know what happened to that one, I guess.
So your sex doll's in Missouri. Yeah. The sheriffs have recovered it.
River. I don't know. I think you know this. Podcast world doesn't know this. Through COVID, I made a whole bunch of money selling porn on eBay.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Because the store was shut down, so we're just going through the store, finding things that have been laying around for whatever reason. And I get a lot of adult magazines and stuff in comic collections for some reason. I don't know, magazine collections. And we never sold them in the store, so they would just collect kind of in the back room. And I had just bought one massive ass collection of smut, let's say, that came with some toys I wanted. But through COVID, the store shut down, and one of the girls that works for me goes to the back room, picks up a magazine, carries it out front, and looks it up on eBay. She went, "This fucking thing is $60." So for a couple months,
let's research.
Yep.
Let's research and sell.
We're learning a skill here. Yeah. So for a couple months, we were slinging porn like crazy on eBay. But eBay, let's say late 21, did away where you can't sell adult magazines on eBay anymore. Or if they depict sex acts, you can't sell them. You can, I think if there's just beasts or like Playboy, you can. But if they depict sex acts, you can't sell them on Playboy or on eBay. So I lost like 30,000 damn listings on eBay overnight when they whacked that shit. Crazy amount of stuff. But I still have all the shit, and I never did anything with it.
Could you not do that on Facebook Marketplace now at this point, or is it too local?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want the kind of people that buy that shit coming to my house or my store to get it. But one thing we have considered a lot is going to one of these porno conventions and setting up a booth and selling the shit, because I have just a mountain of it still sitting in the warehouse that I really don't know what to do with. I'd love to find a website that is already set up and does consignment, and I could just send them a couple pallets of 80s porn. And them just cut me a check once a month or something, but I haven't found that situation.
That's interesting.
And then we bought a house, right, probably 2022, I think, that was full of porn on DVD. And so I got like probably a couple thousand DVDs of porn. Nobody watches that. We have the internet now. Who wants to watch DVD on porn?
Yeah.
Or who wants to watch porn on DVD? Stop that. Reverse it. Yeah. Anyway, so DVDs, I need to find a place to send them. I guess they're going to be in my estate sale. Cheap plug for my estate sale, August 21st.
There it is.
There it is.
All right. Well, to get us back on track,
we're way the fuck off track.
Yeah, that's your choice was nowhere near anything I would have ever dreamed of.
Well, where were you going with this? What were you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
No, to me, I would pick something, if it was my choice, I would be probably maybe going towards like a He-Man or something.
But that's done. It was Super 7 bought the license for He-Man. It's already...
I think you're getting caught up in somebody else owning the license. They're giving the license to you. And my question is, what if they're going to give you this?
Okay.
And
well, I want Star Wars then. Fuck it.
Oh, my God. Star Wars is done.
No, it's not.
I want you to think taking like a Barbie doll and somehow making that a fucking movie that has made billions at this point. Okay. That's kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Cartooners, that's a cool idea. There's a million different ways now that you've mentioned that I think that could be cool. I think that would be
that's a serious nostalgia point for people our age.
But the thing is, I think that could be a serious nostalgia thing for the U.S. or maybe even the world, because I think you start out, or you could have like a documentary or something because I've watched a million documentaries on local people that did crazy things, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That would be, it's just interesting getting to know how that evolved.
But also, we had Mr. Cartoon. How many other small areas, let's say in Middle America, had some character such as that?
But see, to me, that's why that would be a cool intellectual property, because through research of learning about that, you're probably going to find that St. Louis had, Mr. Johnny or whatever it is. And then you can kind of talk about the comparisons and where's their overlap? Were they talking? Was, Mr. Cartoon talking to Mr. Johnny? Did Mr. Johnny start it? Mr. Cartoon said, ooh, I think that'd work in Huntington. I'm going to do something similar.
I was talking to a gentleman the other day in Huntington who's a film collector. He collects all these big ass fucking rolls of film where they tape shows and shit. Anyway, I asked, he said he got a bunch of stuff from the WSAZ studio, and I said, did you ever get Mr. Cartoon film? And he said they never filmed it. It was always a live broadcast.
They didn't even film it?
They never filmed the shit. So the only film or the only proof it ever existed out there is when you were on the show and your mom VHS recorded it or whatever,
Yeah.
He said it just doesn't exist on film. Really.
That's cool.
Yeah. Think about it. I was on TV, I think 2, maybe even 3 different times throughout my life I was on Mr. Cartoon. And I can't prove that to anybody in the world, and there's not a piece of footage of it. I was famous as a 3-year-old or an 8-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can't prove it. It is weird to think about it. So, you ever go down the lost media rabbit hole? You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's forums out there devoted to, I heard this song in 1983, and it went dun to dun to dun to dun dun dun, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is. And people trying to track it down, or, you know, why was this recorded or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff throughout the history, even the modern history of film and video, that's not out there anymore. You know, there was an episode of Magnum P.I. where he got a piece of chewing gum wrapper caught in his ear and had to go get it dug out or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't prove it. Can't find that video. There's a lot of that kind of shit.
Yeah. There won't be any of that ever again, though. The way that technology is at this point, every single thing is captured that's ever done.
I went to, there's a company, I'm not going to say their name because they haven't paid me. There's a company on the internet that converts photos and VHS tapes and shit like that to digital format. They had a sale the other night, and it was like $9 per VHS tape. And I sent them 20 VHS tapes that I had just dug out of my stepmother's attic, and just to see what the fuck was on them, because who knew? And I got the.
You thought that was better than just getting a VHS tape and watching them?
See, the thing
or
is,
VH machine. I mean, that.
Yeah,
I could probably find one.
I have
a
VCR. Yeah, I have a VCR, but also though they, VHS tapes degrade, and the more you play them, the more you fuck them up. And some of the shit was very cool that I got back. I got the thumb drive the other night, and some of it was videotaped episodes of Seinfeld. And the OJ, one of them was the OJ White Bronco chase. One of them was the Tanya Harding story. There was all this
that's
stupid
cool.
shit. But the commercials are cool because they're like from 94 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I sat here the other night and watched a bunch of stupid shit from 94.
Was that before or after you bought the fish tank?
That was after, actually. That was when I was taking a break on setting the fish tank up. Because Katrina goes out to my front porch and says, "There's a box out here. Oh, fuck, this is your VHS tapes back." So now I don't know. I guess I can throw the tapes away now because I have them all on a thumb drive. Maybe. Thumb drive takes up a lot less space.
It does. A lot easier to lose, too, though.
That's true. Just ask the guy that had like 8 million Bitcoin on a fucking hard drive. Seen that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Digging through the dump for a hard drive.
Well, a lot of money.
Yeah. Something like that. Too bad Jared sold all his. Anyway. All right. Well, fuck. We beat this shit to death. Anything else good?
That's good, man. It's all
sure?
good. It's all good.
You got to have
You and
something.
Mr. Cartooner, man.
Yeah. Wave like mad, say bye, cartooners. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Mr.
We out.
And just like that, another episode of Two Guys, Two Questions is in the books.
We laughed. We learned. Well, we mostly just laughed.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, congratulations. You now have random knowledge you never asked for.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Or don't, but just know if you don't, we're bringing back the squeaky toys.
Oh, it's coming back either way.
Until next time, same two guys, two questions, and absolutely no idea what we're doing.
Perfect.